Please remember to tip the Wookiee bartenders 20%. No droids, no biting hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, no trolls, no DK black pill blobs, no black pills, no Tom Quixote de la Manchas, whatever. We're done with that shit. I'm over. In fact, I just got word from Mazarus that a good friend of this channel, Jason Hunt from Sci-Fi for You, for me, is shutting down his channel. I don't know why. Didn't say anything. Didn't make a mention of it, and that's kind of sad because he was a rational voice in this cesspool of nihilism and narcissism that YouTube has become. Anyway, so today, just kind of looking around, doing stuff, minding my own business, and Dave Pensack sent me a video, and my mouth literally was dropped open. Hi, Cross, how you doing? It is a video. I will put it, let me put it in the chat if I can. Just some other guy. All right, if you go to the community page, the video I'm talking about is on there. I forgot to put it in the description box. If you want to go there and then grab the link and put it in the chat so people can see what I'm talking about, that would be great. Thank you. So this channel did a video entitled Kathleen Kennedy is Worse Than You Thought. And it is her doing like a discussion at a panel somewhere, probably a women's group, about, breaking barriers for women and all that. And you start listening to it and you realize she's crazy. All right, first off, there's a story where she said she was at a party for a friend in Vermont. And she's there and this lady walks up to her and says, "Are you Kathleen Kennedy?" And she said, "Yes." And she said, I worked at the federal, blah, 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 that, did FCC licenses. And we were going to give them a license if they didn't hire women. Now she got her first job in radio in 1973. And I gotta say, I am not actually sure that the FCC was doing basically quotas. Yes, that one, Justin, yeah. Was actually doing quotas back in 1973. I was 5 years old. It was, that was the first year abortion, Roe versus Wade was law. And I'm not sure that, no, I don't think it did either. But again, I'm not sure, but people like her they misremember things. Okay, they misremember things. Yeah, that's it right there. That is the link. You can watch it on another device and tell me what you think while I'm talking. I don't think that kind of thing was going on then. It does now. And so people like her, she's a narcissist, obviously. She misremembers what happened back in 1973. She just got a job. And what's interesting is that she's fitting herself into this place of victimhood when she's never been a victim her whole life. I mean, look, it is true, all you had to do is look it up on Google, that she actually was the quarterback for her high school football team. I'm not kidding, all right? Does she sound like a victim? Does she sound like anything ever held her back because she's a girl? No, of course not. It's just very interesting to me watching her entitled, elitist, put herself in a place she never lived in, or she never, you know, uh, and then we get to the part that had me spitting nails. She talks about her mother being an inspiration. She never talks about her father. Obviously, she has daddy issues, and she doesn't talk about how George Lucas gave her an opportunity. She doesn't talk about him at all beyond acknowledging that he exists. Not one word about Steven Spielberg, John Milius. She mentions her husband, but not one word of, oh, he supports me too. See, she's talking about, yeah, and this is her box. In her box, she's a victim. Okay, she's a victim of an imaginary patriarchy. But how many girls back in the 60s played quarterback for a boys' high school football team, for fuck's sake? Okay, give me a break. How many girls' fathers encouraged them to get jobs in radio and communications? Not many, all right? Nothing ever held her back, but she has to keep this up. Basically, it's her worldview of who she is and where she came from. Okay, I know. So I'm sitting here looking at this going, she has no gratitude. She doesn't acknowledge that if it wasn't for George Lucas giving her the opportunity to run Lucasfilm, if it wasn't for Steven Spielberg's, no, John Milius basically hiring her, she never would have hooked up with any of them. She probably never would have met her husband. Okay, doesn't acknowledge her husband. And when you look at the issues with her, you're suddenly realizing that the Ray avatar, the Helena Shaw avatar, the Jyn Erso avatar are all different versions of Kathy. Okay, she has made the entire Star Wars sequel trilogy, Indiana Jones 5, tried to, about her. Okay, no acknowledgement at all. I mean, no gratitude. What? No gratitude at all. I was absolutely enraged when I saw this. And, if you guys are watching it, you'll understand where I'm coming from. It's like, Spielberg and George and, look, Robert Zemeckis, Clint Eastwood, they didn't exist when she's on that platform talking. And it's like, and I thought she was like this. But when you watch the video, you realize everything you've ever thought about her is confirmed. And it's literally like, and it's worse than what you thought it was. And that's the part that absolutely drives me nuts. I don't understand her, but I do, because we've been living in her world for a decade. When you're looking at it, you're like, did George and Steven, any of those guys ever realize that you were that deranged? Because look, I grew up with a woman like that, and I'm gonna tell you this: if you go back and watch the end of the video where basically Kennedy gets completely ignored by Spielberg, you're watching them walk off the stage, treating George like a child. Okay, it's like, and I've seen women like her with delusions do that to men. My oldest sister treated my dad like a little kid. She treats my brother Dan like a little kid. It's all about her. All right, and it's really kind of gross. So you're watching this and you realize she couldn't go on if she didn't make all this shit up. She couldn't. Okay. She could not wake up in the morning and feel good about herself at all if she didn't, you know, if she didn't. No, she's, Chris, no, she doesn't. George, I think, was like standing there going, what the hell did he just do? He had this completely confused look on his face. Hey, Jay. And, but she does it to her husband. She does, and she used him as a crash helmet. All right. You see the look on her face when Spielberg says John Williams, and her husband goes, I mean, he knows what's going on, and she's like, wow, like what the hell just happened? And she just got her little narcissistic world order got crushed. Spielberg knew exactly what he was doing. See, this is why when I tell people I've seen this happen, okay, with people in my family, it's because, yes, and it's very interesting. Women of her age, she's 70 years old, women that grew up back then are very, yeah, I agree, Chris, or Lone Elemental Cross. Women of that time period were perceived themselves as being victims when they weren't. Okay, I hate that. But she also identifies herself as a victim so she can get sympathy and so she can feel like I went against all this adversity because I'm a woman and look where I got. It's like, what are you talking about? You were given everything on a silver plate, including Lucasfilm, which you turned around and destroyed. Okay, so it's like, this is just the me going, wow, look at this. If I can get, if I can get Baz to cut some of those parts out, like I just want one or two because I think they're where she's talking about who she was inspired by, and none of them were men. And but she's obviously she's playing to her crowd, bunch of stupid women out there, and she's being dishonest. All right, but a narcissist, I think, builds up a fairy tale of themselves, and then what happens is they have to have everybody believe that fairy tale. All right, and this is the thing that she's got to get you and me, doesn't believe it because I saw right through her, and all the rest of these people to believe in their mythology that they're building up in their head. And they surround themselves with people like that, like Carrie Beck and Janet Lewin and Rhonda Hort and the rest of those women. Okay, she's very very insulated from the reality of what's going on. And this is where I think this video is going to show you. If you're new here, scroll up and you can find the link that Justin put in. Scroll up and watch it when you've got time. Dave Pensack sent it to me. You realize that all of our issues with her and what we thought of her is worse than what we thought. Okay, because obviously oh, thank you, Ira. Obviously she doesn't understand just how bad Lucasfilm is off right now, and how bad Disney is off right now. Okay, she can't compute. It doesn't, if it's not part of her made up Walt Disney World cartoon where Kathy's the Ray avatar who doesn't need to be trained, and all the rest of the stuff because she's a woman and therefore she's perfect. Then, and if that's the case, this is why we've seen her get into the argument with, we've heard her getting into the argument with Iger, trying to turn it back on Iger, trying to make it seem like everything was his fault, not hers. All right, and the problem is for her is that Lucasfilm is the division she runs or ran, and she cannot accept that she failed. All right, because look, every one of the heroic heroines that she created, and are her. Basically, Ray is her. I mean, how dare you try to tell Ray anything? She's a girl. Helena Shaw is her. And it's like, and Kennedy doesn't get it. She doesn't understand that she fucked up Major League from like the moment she took over. Okay. She didn't have to hire all those women. And the thing about it again is that the thing about it is that she is exclusionatory. When she talks about who her inspiration was, her mother. Nothing about her dad at all. No men at all were ever an inspiration. But let's talk about what she did, okay? Because this is where you confront her. Didn't you go up to Los Angeles after seeing Close Encounters to meet Steven Spielberg to try to get a job? Who are you kidding? Okay. All right. And that's the way you confront somebody like that. You confront them with what they do. All right. And if she says Steven wasn't an inspiration, then it's like, then why did you go to try to get a job with him? Okay. And that's the thing is that watch the video, because everything that she talks about is a construct she has to get through the day. And when you think about her, how the hell does her husband get along with her? Unless she really doesn't believe a word she's saying, which, again, I'll call out on Doomcock. He said that she threw the woke shit under the bus when Iger confronted her. Okay. I mean, and I gotta tell you, she embraced it. She was the one that hired Pablo Hidalgo. She was the one that hired Rain Roberts. She was the one that hired, God, what's her name? The chick that does the announcing for Star Wars now at Star Wars Celebration. Can't remember her name, but she's a black chick. Kennedy was the one that wanted an all-woman executive team. Okay. And, here's the deal. This is somebody who's telling you that she wants to see women in more technical areas behind the camera. All right. I don't know a lot of women who are in Hollywood who want to actually produce movies or be cameramen. I have a friend who is a director. She is a director. She carries a camera. but that is a very rare person. There's a reason why women do not do those roles mostly, and it's because the cameras are heavy and we are drawn to being performers. We are drawn to being in front of a camera. Now, I liked all aspects of it. If you look at like Angelina Jolie, she produces, she directs, she's very interested in all aspects of filmmaking. And Unbroken, the movie that she made, really good movie, by the way. You know, that movie's a testament to her skill, but not every woman wants to do that, okay? Not, I mean, you know, not because, again, we are drawn to different aspects of filmmaking. Writing. There are more women, I think, probably writing than there are sitting, you know, in the director's chair yelling action or, you know, being a cinematographer. In fact, the woman that Alec Baldwin accidentally shot, very kind of a rare sight in cinematography is a woman like that. You know, you have to be a different kind of person, okay? And it's the way we think. We don't view the world the same way as a man does, all right? And it's hard to get, you know, feminists to understand that just because you want to see more women in this profession doesn't mean there are going to be more women. It's like female jockeys. Now, there have been a few. Rosie Napravnik is probably the best one that I remember. And a nice lady. She's, I think she trains now and stuff. She had a kid, so she kind of quit race riding. But you're going to very rarely find women on the racetrack because while women can ride as well as men, and in the Olympics we show that, race riding takes a special kind of attitude where it's you just go balls to walls, okay? And it's dangerous. And while cross country races, they're like, it's kind of a thing that they do in the Olympics. You know, the Grand Prix jumping, dressage, etc. There are probably more women riders in that because it's more of an individual kind of thing going on with you and your horse, okay? And the competition, you're not on the racetrack with 10 guys on their horses, and men are programmed to be that way, okay? Women are naturally not. You have to have a certain attitude. I'm gonna get on this 1,200-pound crazy thoroughbred filly, and we're gonna go run a mile. And everybody else, I mean, and all these guys, they're not afraid. And it's just, okay, she wouldn't get that, okay? And the same thing is, we don't have the upper body strength to walk around with a camera, okay? We don't have the technical, we don't really want it, we don't care about that. I mean, we're not IT people, okay? Why, you know, that's just not what we do. And so in this video, when you watch it, she's going to be complaining and lying about how she got her first job. I know she's lying about that. I'm like, you believe your own bullshit, don't you? Because she does not give off any telltale signs she's lying. And there you go. But it's a very interesting look, and so much is revealed in this. And the guy who does the video, I think, is a psychologist. And he also uses what is Megan's title? Duchess of Bullshit? I don't know. She's in on it too. But see, these are entitled women who were not deprived of anything growing up, obviously, who have not been deprived in their careers growing up, who rose to the highest places that anybody could ever think. You know, Meghan Markle married Harry. Uh, you know, Kathleen Kennedy became the protege for Steven Spielberg. Okay. She was his partner once. And her company, at least I still think, has a first look with his film studio, DreamWorks. Okay. So when you're looking at this and you're like, and you realize that she thinks she's a victim, that somehow she's somehow special, when look, and plenty of her the people that love her will say that, oh, well, you know, she stopped misogyny in Star Wars. What misogyny? Leia in that bikini? That's part of the movie. What the fuck are you talking about? Carrie didn't think it was that way. She didn't think it was that way. It's to me, I'm like, when she was doing this, because this is who we know her to be, this is her history, and this is her doing, I'm a victim, and I'm a woman, and I'm the only woman that's ever done anything like this. Sherry Lansing ran Paramount, okay, and did a hell of a job, okay. Dawn Steele, may I remind you, Lucy Ricardo, aka Lucille Ball, owning Desilu, okay. You know, and on and on and on and on. There have been women doing her job since the film industry began back over 100 years ago. I talked about a French lady whose husband, they were in Paris. They started a movie studio and moved to Fort Lee, New Jersey, which is where Hollywood was at first. And in 1909, her husband died, and she moved everything out to Hollywood, where she's buried. Okay. You know, women like that have nothing in common with Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy was the daughter of a judge in Berkeley, California. I think her mother was a professor or a teacher. She has a twin sister who's a movie producer too. And this girl had, I mean, she was the quarterback for high school's football team. I mean, in the 60s. That's not normal. Okay, that's not, you know, wearing a you know, gingham skirt that goes down to your ankles and crossing your feet and, you know, being forced to bake pies all day. Fuck's sake. Okay, that to me says that her parents thought it was fine that she went out and did shit like that. She was a tomboy. Who cares? You're not a victim. You're an entitled, angry wench who probably didn't get a whole lot of attention from daddy, who I think probably wished one of you or your sister was a boy. And you picked up on that, and there you go. Okay. So we've got this, and her resentment, just like I thought, comes out, and it's like, yeah, you watch the video and you're like, she's insane. She honestly, she should be checked into a hospital and not go off to the south of France to drink the new rosé. She should be put in a hospital and you know, fixed, because I think she probably could be fixed. She cannot accept the reality around her. Bob Iger, on the other hand, very well can accept the reality around him, which is why everything and anything at Disney's up for sale, which is why he came back to fix the nuclear bomb inside Disney's reactor before it goes off. Okay, that's why he knows what the problems are, and he knows that Kennedy fucked up. There you go. Um, you know, we don't have like we don't have variety. Yeah, that is weird. I mean, what as much as I used to love American football and used to play with my brothers and the neighborhood, I don't want to be on the football team. You know, look, a woman going out and playing that sport is just asking for some huge guy to just kill her. I mean, just wipe her out. Worse than I did when Kojak got me. Um, uh, but where was I? Okay. All right. So, yesterday we found out a little more about what's going on. And, you've got Variety ignoring it, THR's ignoring it, um, Deadline. They probably all been told we're not talking about any of this. Matt Bellamy's ignoring it. Yet we know there's something going on at Lucasfilm. We know it. Okay. Now we got the Lando situation. When you read the short blurb in Variety, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't mention Kennedy at all. And in fact, it kind of throws, I think the Deadline article throws Donald Glover under the bus. In fact, Jason Simeon is not part of the project anymore. And it's like, it's just something to, I think it's a shiny object. I think Kennedy put that out there, or somebody put it out there to be a shiny object. Maybe somebody decided to say, hey, why don't we float this idea out there and see what the fans think? I don't want it. I don't want it. They don't have anything to stand on with that character as he is right now. I'm not going to watch that show. I'm not. I mean, it took me, 5 years to watch Solo. So I'm not going to watch it. I literally cringe when I think about it. And it's not going to happen. I mean, look, I got a guy called Old Yorkshire Geek show up today and, try to insinuate, because he's probably, blowing WDW Pro, that the Acolyte is real. And I dropped a nuke on him. All right. You don't come on here doing that shit. Just basically repeating what a travel agent told you. Okay, I'm done. All right. I have rules. I mean, Cameron put a warning out on his Patreon, and I will put a warning out here. If you are trying to disrupt a live stream like this one, or throw comments in, and like a few days ago, I had somebody there's a video that I posted over a year ago called The History of Kathleen Kennedy. And one of her, obviously a supporter, came in and posted this dumpster fire bullshit. I dropped a nuke on them and blocked them. That video has at least garnered 4 or 5 different trolls, different kinds. Trolls from the Dunning-Kruger brothers, trolls from other black pill networks, and trolls from the shills. Okay, so yeah, and the thing about it is, they want to distract you from what you're doing. They want to intimidate you. They're not going to intimidate me. No one will ever be able to intimidate me. Okay, I don't care. And they want to take away the narrative. And the thing about it is, that story about the Lando show, I don't know who put it out. It wasn't Disney. Disney, even Lucasfilm really didn't have a lot to say about it. So it looked like Donald Glover put it out there, maybe at the behest of Kathy. Why? Okay, so, you know, actions, I've always said, speak louder than words. And it is Kathy finally accepting that she's done at Lucasfilm? Maybe. Is the whole Lando thing in the press some sort of distraction? Yeah. Shiny object. Here, look at this while half my staff is getting fired. Look, we were told another bunch of people resigned yesterday. Okay, nobody yet on the leadership staff, but I guarantee you that's coming, or because there's a list of people to be fired. Okay, just that simple. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that show, that video. I'm going to get it and put it in the description box again for this video, because I think it's important for everybody to see. I really, really, really do. Look, when you come here, you're not going to get, you know, I've been trying to tell everybody. I've been telling everybody. You're not going to get me saying that. Okay. You're not going to get any black pill shit, because this is what we look at, what's happening in the public that we know versus what the rumors are saying. And the rumors at times are getting validated by what isn't being said in the public. All right? Very interesting that Lando rumor, they're not going to do a Lando show. And they're not going to do the Acolyte's not going to happen either. I don't give a flying fuck. Okay, it's you know, an insurance salesman from, you know, Louisiana is telling you that because what? And the Ray movie's happening because Iger wants it. No, he doesn't. What? I mean, what if you do business and you're looking at something from a financial point, why would you even think that's true? Why? I mean, it's like, you honestly think Bob Iger, what? All right, so I gotta go because I'm losing my voice, and I kind of want to mellow out for a little while. Hi, Peter. Hi, Sci-Fi Universes. So anyway, just watch the video. Okay, it's on the community page of my channel. Go watch it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, it's revealing. It's very, very, very revealing. She's lost more than 1 billion Sci-Fi Universes. She's lost more than 1 billion. I think Lucasfilm's probably lost about 60% of its value. Anyway, this is stuff